Hello friend, today we will start with a new topic that is Introduction to the Chromatography from Unit 3. The learning outcome. The learner will be able to explain different modes of separation and its need, define and discuss the chromatography and its history, describe classification and different techniques of chromatography. Methods of separation. Most of the time, substances that we see around us are not in their pure form. They are basically mixture of two or more substances. There are several types of separation techniques that are used in segregating a mixture of substances. As for the need of separation, it is usually done to remove all the unwanted materials and obtain useful components. For the pharmaceutical analysis for analytical purpose, a sample that requires analysis is often a mixture of many components in a complex matrix. Example, if you are separating some drug from blood, it is in the blood matrix. If you are separating drug from urine sample, it is in urine matrix. If you are separating some plant component, it is in the plant other materials. So you need to separate out this material. For sample containing unknown compound, the compound must be separated from each other so that each individual component can be identified by the another analytical method. Even in the pharmaceuticals, you know that we are adding many excipients and other drugs are also there. Before you go for the analysis of that particular drug, you need to separate out it from the other component. A mixture can be separated using differences in the physical or chemical properties of individual components. Dear friend, take a notebook and pen and write what are the various separation techniques you have studied up till now. If you have finished, play the video and see the various techniques available. So, various methods for separating the mixtures are hand picking, depending upon the size, we can separate out the material, threshing that we have seen in the field for separation of the grains, then winnowing, also there in the field, we are observing the particles, the food grains are separated from weeds, then sieving, it is a common technique which we are using depending upon the physical shape, size, evaporation for removing the water content or some liquids from the solid, then distillation where we can separate out the various component, filtration where we can separate out depending upon the solid liquid or the depending upon the phases. One more technique is there, that is sedimentation. Mud can be separated from the clear water solution by the sedimentation technique. We can use the separating funnel for this purpose. These are the various techniques which are available for separation. One more technique is your magnetic separations. You may have seen the people are collecting some iron material by getting it absorbed onto the magnetic magnet, and it can be getting separated out. So basically, molecules can be separated from one another in their if there are differences in one or more of the following properties, like there should be the difference in volatility, polarity, molecular size, or charge. Example is filtering of solid precipitate to separate it from the solution. These separation are based on state of matter of two components. So the separation procedure should be simple separation procedure. It can be classified in this way: simple separation procedure. It involves centrifugation, crystallization, distillation, sublimations, precipitation, extraction, filtering. So these are all simple separation procedure. The another technique we can classify as the instrumental separation procedure, which include chromatography, electrophoresis, and dialysis. These are the instrumental procedures of separation. Now, if you see the classification of separations depending upon their principles, or what are the various principles involved in the separation technique. So precipitation, where we can take the differences in solubility and we can separate out the component. Distillations, difference in volatility, boiling point that can be used to differentiate the substances. Then sublimation, evaporation of the solid directly to the vapors, that is difference in vapor pressure. Then extraction, okay, solid liquid extraction, liquid liquid extraction. So these are all extraction process where the difference in solubility is to be considered as a physical parameter. Then crystallization, solubility at low temperature can be used for separating it. Then flotation or sedimentation. Okay, flotation or sedimentation, difference in density is used for the flotation or sedimentation purpose. Ultrafiltration, size of substances can be used to separate out the substances. And reverse osmosis, RO filters which we are using in the house, they are using the difference in osmotic pressure for separating the two materials. So these are all the separation techniques. Now we'll consider what is chromatography. Chromatography is a method used by scientists for separating organic and inorganic compounds so that they can be analyzed and studied. Chromatography is a science which studies the separation of molecules based on difference in their structure or compositions. Chromatography was first developed and defined by Russian botanist Michael Twiss in 1903. He produced a colorful separation of plant pigments using a column of calcium carbonate that is called as chalk. So if you see the history of chromatography, first where from this chromatography word comes. So chromatography comes from the Greek word which is for color, that is chroma, and writing, that is graphene. So chromatography means to write with the color because in 1903, Michael Twiss separated plant pigments on the chalk column. In 1938, the paper and thin layer chromatography was developed for separating the components. In 1942, Martin and Sainz developed a partition chromatographic technique. In 1952, Martin and James developed the first gas chromatographic equipments. In 1958, it begins with the modern liquid chromatography by Spickman Moore, who have used this technique for amino acid analysis. 1968, high pressure liquid chromatography was developed and used. In 1980, the superfluid chromatography, that is SFC, is developed. So how this chromatography works? In all chromatography, there is a mobile phase and a stationary phase. The mobile phase moves the stationary phase, picking up the component to be tested. As the mobile phase continues to travel through the stationary phase, it takes the component with it. At different point in the stationary phase, the different component of compounds are going to be absorbed and are going to move with the mobile phase. This is how the separation from the other component is achieved. If you see the IUPAC definitions of the chromatography, which was there in 1993, chromatography is a physical method of separation in which components to be separated are distributed between the two phases, one of which is stationary phase, while the other moves in a definite direction. So this is the definition given by IUPAC. For a common understanding purpose of chromatography, a usual definition is this: chromatography is a physical method of separation involving differential distribution between the two phases. One phase is percolated through the another. The former is known as a mobile phase and the latter is known as a stationary phase. So this definition gives every principle, working principles and everything about the chromatography. It is a physical method of separation involving differential distribution. So differential distribution might be adsorption, partition, ion exchange, affinity. So whatever differential distributions is there, so that is between the two phases. One phase is called as a stationary phase and another is called as a mobile phase. So when this mobile phase moves through the stationary phase, depending upon this differential distribution, it will get distributed between these two phases and the separation of component will result. If you see in the various separation technique, so what are the advantages of chromatographic separation technique over the technique which you have seen in the previous slides? The separation of mixture of chemical having closer physical or chemical properties can be achieved by using chromatography because it can separate complex mixture with great precision. Even very smaller component such as protein that may only vary by a single amino acid linkage can be separated with chromatography, which is not possible by using distillation or certain other techniques. Again, it is a gentle method, that is, chromatography can be used to separate delicate product since the condition under which it is performed are not typically severe. So amino acid, proteins, enzymes, they cannot be separated by distillation or the heat procedures because they will get destroyed out at the higher temperature. So for their separations, we need such a gentle method. So the thermolabile substances can be separated easily by using chromatography. The separation can be carried out in micro or semi-micro scale. Very small quantity can be separated by using this chromatography. It is simple, rapid, and efficient technique. Where the chromatography is used by scientists, it is used to analyze, examine a mixture into components and their relation to one another. It is used to identify, that is, determine the identity of the mixture or component based on known components. It is used for the purification purpose to separate components in order to isolate one of the interest for further studies. Okay, even petrochemical industries, the plant extracts, they all needs to be purified. Quantification. It is used to determine the amount of mixture and or component present in a sample. Even if you are taking the tablet, you need to separate it out from the various other excipients and then you want to quantify how much active ingredient is present in your tablet or formulations. Classification of chromatography. So many people start classification, that is thin layer chromatography, column chromatography, gas chromatography. These are the techniques of chromatography. That is not classification. So we'll study this classification depending upon the three different techniques. So first is depending upon the depth of separation. We can classify the chromatography in two classes, that is column chromatography and planar chromatography. Column chromatography, where the stationary phase is held in a narrow tube through which the mobile phase is forced under the pressure or by the gravity. Simple column chromatography is example. Gas chromatography is example. HPLC is example of column chromatography. Ion exchange chromatography is example of column chromatography, where certain tubes are used to hold the stationary and mobile phase. The planar chromatography, the stationary phase is supported on flat plate or paper, and the mobile phase moves the stationary phase by capillary action or by gravity. So like your thin layer chromatography or paper chromatography, these are the planar chromatography where the surface separations is carried out. There is no use of column. So this is depending upon the depth of separation. Now, depending upon the nature of mobile phase, how we can classify the chromatographic technique. So the chromatographic technique can be classified as liquid chromatography. If your mobile phase is liquid, it is called as liquid chromatography. If your mobile phase is gas, it is gas chromatography. So liquid chromatography, simple column chromatography is a liquid chromatography. Then HPLC is the liquid chromatography, where mobile phase is liquid. Even in ion exchange chromatography, the mobile phase is liquid. So it is all coming under the liquid chromatography. Gas chromatography, gas solid chromatography, or gas liquid chromatography, where the stationary phase may be solid or liquid, but the mobile phase will be gas. Then now the superfluid chromatography, the mobile phase is in the form of a superfluid, so that can be used for the separation of various plant pigments or plant components. So these are the second technique of classification depending upon nature of mobile phase. And the last, third technique which we are commonly utilizing, that is based on mechanism of separation or nature of the stationary phase. The first technique is adsorption. It is not absorption. It is adsorption chromatography. Second is a partition chromatography. Third one is ion exchange chromatography. Then molecular exclusion chromatography, affinity chromatography. So now we'll see these techniques one by one. So what is the adsorption chromatography? So in adsorption chromatography, we are having a solid stationary phase. It is probably one of the oldest type of the chromatography around because Twist in 1903 he has separated the plant pigment on the chalk column. He has used the adsorption chromatographic technique there. So it is based on the relative polarities of the material. It is utilizing a mobile liquid or gaseous phase that is absorbed onto the surface of a solid stationary phase. You can see this is the solid stationary phase and this is the mobile phase. So when this material comes in the contact, it will get adsorbed over the surface of the solid stationary phase. And depending upon the differences in the absorptivity, the sample gets separated out. The equilibrium between the mobile and stationary phase accounts for the separation of different solutes. So this is adsorption chromatography. Now, in case of partition chromatography, there is liquid as a stationary phase and liquid as a mobile phase, liquid or gas as a mobile phase. This form of chromatography is based on a thin film formed on the surface of solid support by liquid stationary phase. So this is a solid support which holds this liquid stationary phase as a thin film. So this is the thin film of liquid stationary phase. This is the mobile phase. When it passes through the stationary phase, the material will get distributed or partitioned because two immiscible liquids are there. So the material will get partitioned between the stationary phase and mobile phase. It is based on relative solubility between these two phases. Solute equilibrate between the mobile phase and stationary liquid phase. The next technique is ion exchange chromatography. In this type of chromatography, we use resins, the stationary phase, as a solid phase, which is used to covalently attach anions or cations on it. Stationary phase contain fixed charge groups and mobile counter ions. So the mobile phase containing the counter ions will get attached with the stationary resin material and the separations will take out. The solid ions of oppositely charged in the mobile liquid phase are attached to the resin by electrostatic force and they will get separated out. So this is called as the ion exchange chromatography. The next is your molecular exclusion chromatography, or it is also known as a gel filtration chromatography or gel permeation chromatography, where the stationary phase in a form of a gel and the substance which is to be separated is allowed to pass through this gel and gel will attract the material depending upon their molecular size and allowing to get it separated. The liquid or gaseous phase passes through a porous gel which separate the molecule according to the size. The retention depends upon extent to which the solute molecules are trapped into the pores of inert stationary phase. The pores are normally small and exclude the larger solid molecule but allowed smaller molecules to enter the gel, using them to flow through the large volume. This causes large molecule to pass through the column at a faster rate than the smaller one. So the larger molecule will be separated first, then the smaller one. The last technique is affinity chromatography. Like antigen antibody reaction, there are certain active sites, and the material which is to be separated will get attached to these active sites, and then it can be separated by using the another solvent. This is the most selective type of chromatographic technique employed. It utilizes the specific interaction between one kind of solid molecule and second molecule that is immobilized on the stationary phase. For example, the immobilized molecule may be an antibody to form the specific protein boundary. When solid containing a mixture of protein are passed by this molecule, only the specific protein is reaching to the antibody and binding to the stationary phase. Then they can be selectively or competitively separated by using the different solvent. Or this protein is later extracted by changing the ionic strength or the pH of your stationary mobile phase. So this is just a graphical presentation for various type of chromatography. We have planar chromatography or we have columnar chromatography. Okay, so columnar chromatography, any type of columnar chromatography, that is HPLC, then the reverse phase chromatography. These are different types: affinity chromatography, ion exchange chromatography, where we are using the columns. Okay, so then we can have the liquid chromatography or gas chromatography. Okay, so based on the shape of the chromatographic bed, whether it is planar chromatography, gas chromatography, stationary phase is your solid or liquid, and the mobile phase is your gas. And this is depending upon the principle or mechanism of separation, that is partition, absorption, slice exclusion, affinity, and ion exchange. Okay, so these are all the various examples of chromatographic classifications, etc. Now, various terminologies we are using in chromatography. You should know this terminology. One is effluent. The liquid entering the column of the chromatographic system is called as a influent. Effluent, the liquid leaving the column. At the time of entering, it is influent, and when it is leave the column, it is effluent. The liquid leaving the column. Elution, the process by which the absorbed ions are removed from the column, is called the elution process. Eluent, the solution used for elution is called as the eluent. Elute, the solute obtained as a result of elution. We are going to elute the substance of interest by using the eluent, and the process is elution. Okay, so various techniques of chromatography includes paper chromatography, that is a partition chromatography, then column chromatography, it is a partition or absorption chromatography, thin layer chromatography, partition or absorption chromatography, gas chromatography, which is partition or absorption chromatography, then high performance liquid chromatography, it is only the partition chromatography. So here we have studied the first part of your chromatographic technique, that is introduction, its history, classification, and various mechanisms involved in chromatographic separation. Thank you very much for listening this topic. Thank you and see you in the next topic again.